A certain leader when it comes to the preseason player of the year discussion has to be Ferrara as he returns for his 6th year. In 2022, he had 119 points, and for his career, he sits at 351, which is just 100 away from the all-time record. In 2022, he had 91 goals and currently sits as Salisbury's all-time record holder for goals. So that's where we're going to spend most of our time, is looking at clips of him turning the corner as a scorer and talking about exactly what makes him so dangerous, such a difficult cover. And so, like we said, he's an incredible scorer, so we're going to take a look at him in a couple different ways, getting up the hash, and we're going to start off here with the lefty clip because this is something that he's added to his game as he's gotten older and more experienced, so just one more thing that in his 6th year will make him even more dangerous. And so right here he's going to set a pick, and Catholic is going to switch it, give him that short stick matchup, no slide, and he's able to just get right up the hash with his left hand and quickly turn the corner. And then in this next clip, it's going to be a little bit similar, except he's going to have a short stick on him and come up the right hash. And if you're sitting here thinking like, oh, does he only dodge short stick? Like, no, that's not the situation. We'll get to plenty of clips. Just happens to be at this time. And this is pretty funny here, actually. Like, the short stick literally goes palms up. Like, guys, this is a bad situation. We're in a load of trouble here. And so he's going to just run through this, get up the hash, and stick it. So a couple clips there, right there, of him getting up the hash, sticking it lefty, sticking it righty. And then now we're going to move to one against Cabrini. And here, again, we're going to see him attacking. And this is an instance where kind of his experience and wisdom as he's gotten older just sets him up for even more success. And so right here, he's just kind of drifting through X. And this isn't really a slide or anything. He's just extending the length here and making it a longer gap for this defender to have to cover. And here he's going to attack up the field from X. And I wanted to show this clip because in a second here we're going to show a clip of him when you are working to get topside and get into his hands. But here this defender is just kind of going to trail him, and we're going to see a subtle tuck of the stick right here, keeping that stick out in front of him, really making it hard for that defender to get a trail. And so if you're really going to do a good job of defending him, you have no choice but to getting into his hands and playing him with physicality, which is ultimately going to set us up for our next few clips here, where he's working up, getting to the island, and then from the island he has a bunch of different moves, a bunch of different pieces to the arsenal that make him difficult to guard. And this is our last one here. We're getting up the hash. Here he's got someone all in his hands, but still is able to just turn the corner and put that thing on the far pipe. And now we'll talk a little bit about what all of that sets up, and the first of which is going to be an inside roll. And what you'll see here is he's going to do a really good job of working up the hash, but the defender has to do a really good job of working hard with him to keep a stick in his hands. So now when he rolls, he has all that separation and creates all that space. So a really good example there of what those takes up the hash sets up with that first inside roll there. And here we'll see a couple of clips where it's not necessarily an inside roll, but it's not necessarily your traditional like question mark either. Kind of these sort of like quasi in between takes that he does a really good job of, and he does them quite often. And so here he's going to take his right hand, get up and turn over his right shoulder and take a left-handed shot. Just dings right off the pipe. So really good take there. And here we'll see a similar one, except this time he'll take his left hand, turn over his left shoulder, and then let it go. And again, this one isn't necessarily like, it's just kind of these quasi like slow dodges where he's just working his matchup, slowly getting to danger space and getting to a spot where his hands are free to be able to shoot it. So it's not necessarily an inside roll, but not necessarily a question mark either. So kind of these like weird family of the in between. And then what that'll set up also is your inside roll, your fake inside roll, and your rockers. And so here we'll see a couple examples of those, starting with a really good inside roll take. And so here he's going to get up, drive to his right hand. You already saw where we freed up that Hawkeye. He's clearly stepping up. And again, this right here, these steps are just baiting that Hawkeye to come to the inside so that he can turn the corner and score. And we're talking about a guy who scored 91 goals last year. It's not like the scout says, like, hey, we're not sliding to him. He just does a really good job of manipulating the slide, understanding where it's coming from, and he's two-handed enough to be able to make you pay wherever it is. And so here he's going to do a good job of driving dodging with physicality, gets this defender on his back here, and then from there he's just going to seal and throw a little rocker, hands free coming up the hash. And it's not necessarily a situation where he needs to create a whole ton of space. He's just able to be, comfortable and carry and be more patient than his defender until he's able to get his hands free. And this is a really good example of that patience. He's just kind of going to work this matchup, use his body, shield his stick, and then all of a sudden he's able to step away, clear his hands, and shoot it. So it doesn't need to create a whole ton of separation, and that's part of what these rockers and working to the island does, is you're able to shield your stick from the goalie. So one more element that he does that helps make him a bit of a scorer with every touch, where he's certainly dangerous. And again, we're going to get a slow motion there on that rocker, run through it, soak a couple checks, and then find the back of the net as well. So, like we said, it's not a situation where teams just aren't sliding to him. He's just good enough to make you pay either way. And then, for those who don't know, Salisbury got a pretty big transfer at attack, who I think is at his best at X. So this may be how we see him used a lot, is over here working on the wings, and he's very good out of sweep situations with a pick. Not necessarily always a pass down, pick down. Here the ball comes through X and you get a pick coming to him. And, but you still get that same kind of look. Same kind of concept there with him getting the ball on the wing and then a pick coming down for an up pick for him to try and sweep to the middle of the field. And he's a good feeder. He's not a great feeder. I think if there was one thing that we would critique him on, it's his feeding and vision. So if you are going to get sliding to him, this is a set where he's able to make you pay, because he's got all these straight line reads, straight line feeds that are make you really, really simple and easy for him to make you pay. And then he's not just dangerous going over the top. He's able to jab at it. If you overplay the sweep, he can come underneath and then finish at a low angle as well. So really, really good stuff there. Constantly dangerous with every touch, and part of what makes him so dangerous is with every touch, it's kind of setting up the next one. He's constantly reading the defender and then taking what the defender gives him, regardless of what it is. If it's a left-handed question mark, if it's a inside roll, if it's a left-handed up the hash, righty up the hash, whatever it is, he's able to take advantage of it, get the defender on his back, and then read him from there and take advantage of it there.